Hello. Today our topic is about the control statements. So let's start with its introduction. See, in this, it is the standard procedural programming. Code execution happens equally, line by line from top to bottom. However, real-world computational problems require software to make dynamic logic flows, repeat blocks of code, or skip operations based on the conditional criteria. The control statements are the core programming primitives that interrupt this default sequential flow. They evaluate Boolean or state expressions to explicitly decide which blocks of code execute next. Without control statements, applications would be rigid, linear scripts unable to handle dynamic inputs or conditional business rules. Across modern programming environments, control statements are structurally grouped into three foundational pillars. You can clearly see they are the conditional decision-making statements, iterative or looping statements, jumping or flow transfer statements. Let's start with the conditional or decision-making statements. These evaluate predicts to select alternative computational paths, example the branching. Iterative or loop statements. It repeatedly executes the targeted operational subroutines as long as specific constraints remain true. Jump or flow transfer statements. These immediately migrate execution control to another point in the scope or subroutine. So let's start the control statements in various programming languages. See, in this video, we are stating about the control statements in the C language, Java, object-oriented programming, and the Python. So let's start with the control statements in the C language. C is a foundational structured procedural programming language. Its control mechanisms map closely to low-level assembly branching instructions, rendering them exceptionally fast and deterministic. The first one, simple if. It executes a unified block of instructions if and only if the specified Boolean condition resolves to non-zero. That means that true. You can clearly see it is a syntax of the simple if and it is a program, simple program. Please note it down, it will be very useful for you. Next one, the if-else. It offers two distinct execution trajectories, one for a valid truth condition, another for a false condition. It is the syntax for the if-else, and here's a small program which is provided to you. Please note them down. Next one, the nested if. It houses an entire conditional logic hierarchy within an outer branch layer for fine-grained qualification cascades. Here's a small program which is provided for you. Please note it down. Next, there comes the if-else-if ladder. It evaluates sequential logic steps from top to bottom. As soon as a condition passes, a block runs and the rest of the ladder is skipped. Here's a simple program given, so please note it down. Next one, the switch case. It is a clean and multi-way branch mechanism that checks an expression against integer character constants. It is a simple syntax which is provided to you. Please note it down. Next, there comes a small program for the switch case. Next one, till the above which we said these are about the decision making. So now we are coming to the iterative or loop statements. See, the first one in the iterative or loop statements is the for loop. It packs initialization, loop test condition, and counter update into a single clean line. Great for when you know exactly how many loops you need. It is a simple syntax. First initialization happens, next the condition is checked, and next is the increment or decrement is happened. Here is a simple program you can clearly see. Please note it down. Next, there comes the while loop. It is an entry control loop that evaluates its condition before executing the code block. It is ideal for loops where the exact runtime count is unknown. Please note down the below given or the shown program. Next, there comes the do while loop. It is an exit control loop that processes the code block first, then tests the condition, which guarantees the block runs at least once. Note down the program. Next, there comes the jump statements. The first one, break. It instantly breaks out of the innermost running loop or switch structure. Continue. It skips the rest of the current loop iteration and moves straight to the next condition test or update step. Go to. It performs an unconditional jump to a labeled location inside the same function's code. Use sparingly as it can make code messy. You can clearly see it is a program which is showing about the continue, break, jumping statements. Next, we are coming to the control statements in Java, OOP, Object-Oriented Programming. The Java brings control statements into an object-oriented paradigm. While inheriting C's foundational block syntax, Java enforces strict type safety. Conditions must explicitly resolve to a true Boolean value, not integers, and features managed control flow models for exceptions and array parsing. See the first one, the conditional statements. Java supports if else, nested if, and if else if ladders with syntax mirrored from C, but it restricts conditions to pure Boolean expressions. The switch case enhanced object capabilities unlike the raw C. Java switch statement natively accepts the string values, primitive wrappers, and enums, which means the enumerations. Here has provided a simple syntax and a program. Please note it down. Iterative or loop statements. Java implemented traditional for, while, and do while patterns. For, while, and do while patterns perfectly, while adding an optimized iterator loop for object collections and arrays. The enhanced for each loop eliminates manual index handling to clearly cycle through arrays and collection frameworks. He has given a small syntax and example program. Please note it down. Next, there comes the jump statements. Java strips away C's unstructured goto keyword to protect code architecture, keeping structured break and continue statements. Additionally, Java introduces labeled break or continue commands to elegantly exit out of nested complex loop blocks. Here it is showing a simple program for the jump statements in Java. Control statement in Python. Python modernizes the control flow by emphasizing the code readability. It teaches traditional curly braces and parentheses for forced semantic visual indentation blocks. The conditional statements. Python combines else-if structures into the plain elif keyword. It also replaces the switch case statement with structural pattern match case introduced in Python 3.10 plus version. If elif else cascade, and clearly see the syntax provided and the program provided. Structured pattern match case, a robust readable framework for handling value pattern comparisons. Next, there comes the iterative or loop statements. Python offers two primary loop structures, while and a sequence-driven for loop. It also includes an optional else block that runs when a loop finishes naturally without hitting a break statement. For loop with range rather than counting with increments, Python iterates over explicit sequences or generated ranges. You can clearly see the program and the syntax provided. Loop else architecture. It executes a block of code immediately after a loop complete cycle, unless it was terminated prematurely by a break statement or a break. And clearly see the program which is provided. Next, there comes the jump statements. They are the break that terminates the current loop scope completely continue. It skips directly to the next sequence item or a validation cycle. Pass, a structural placeholder that acts as a null operation when syntax requires a statement but no logical action is needed. And clearly see the given program. Let me once again show you the given program. You can clearly see the given program. Okay. See, it is a program Note it down. And next, we are here to show you a small differentiation between the control statements of the various programming languages. And here we have stated that the C language, Java, OOPS, and Python paradigm. Clearly see the block delimiters uses curly braces in C language. In Java also it is the same, but in Python mandatory visual indentation, white space, no structural semicolons. Condition type. In C it accepts numerical integers. 0 is false, non-zero is true. In Java, strictly requires strict Boolean data types, true or false. But in Python, implicitly evaluates truthiness across collections or values via the bool. Next, the multi-way selection. In C, standard switch case restricted to integers and characters. In Java, robust switch case supporting string primitives and enums, that means enumerations. But in Python, the features modern structural pattern match via match case. Next, there comes the next differentiation is of the iteration or iteration mechanisms. In C, there is a traditional index tracking for while and do while. In Java, OOP includes standard loops and adds a type safe for each collection iterator. Sequence in Python, sequence driven for loops, while loops, and integrated loop level else clauses. Next differentiation. Unstructured jumps. In C supports unrestricted functional jumping using the goto statement. In Java or OOP bans goto completely but supports labeled break and continue. When it comes to the Python, it provides structured loop jumps along with the structural pass statement. Okay, thank you. That's all for today. See, we have provided you a clear explanation about all this. If you have any doubts or any kind of queries, please ask us or please state about your doubts in the comment section. We are always striving to provide a good knowledge about everything. If you have any queries or doubts, please comment in the comment section. Okay, thank you. That's all for today.